Okay, so let's go through the cons because I have quite a few. First and foremost is that it being an insurance agent with an IMO that I'm with kind of gives me the ick. It's very much like an MLM. It's really giving pyramid scheme vibes, especially because all of these weekly meetings, which, as I said before in the pros, there is some advice in there. There are some little tips and tricks and things for you to learn. But for the most part, all of the meetings that we have are an ad to get people to go to this national conference that they have. That's all they talk about 24/7 is this conference. In fact, we had a meeting today with one of the big wigs where we were supposed to learn all these pearls of wisdom, right? Like, don't miss this meeting, it's going to be great. Y'all, that meeting was an hour long, and I spent 40 minutes before I left the meeting, 40 minutes listening to this man talk about the conference. That was it. There were no pearls of wisdom. I was also asked if I was going to this conference, to which I said no, because, well, for one thing, I'm a brand new agent. I've already spent money on getting the license, the course, paying for the exam, paying for errors and omission insurance, buying leads. Uh, I don't also have money to buy a plane ticket, a rental car, and a hotel, and pay for food and whatever else I need for a whole week there at this conference. Um, to which they're like, well, you got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. In fact, there was one person who was like, oh, just put it all on a credit card and then just don't pay the credit card until you make money. Like the money will come. That is terrible advice. Do not ever listen to anybody who says something so stupid like that. Okay? Don't do that. And then they were like, well, if you don't go to this conference, then you're probably not going to make it in this business. Okay? Then I guess I'm not going to make it. Okay? What a weird thing to say. And then also giving very MLM vibes is that they really, really want you to recruit people. In fact, they talk about recruitment more than they talk about selling an actual product. All they talk about is building a team, how you can change people's lives and build this team. And that is like the number one thing that they say in MLMs. I know because I've been a part of a few MLMs, I've been scammed into them. Um, and I'm kind of feel like I'm getting scammed into another one in all honesty. I mean, life insurance is a real product and it's a real thing that people need. I think that everybody should have it. It's not if you die, it's when you die. So I know it's not really like an MLM, but it really, really gives MLM vibes. And I don't know if I can stick it out and keep doing it. Another thing that really gives me the ick and grosses me out is that they want you to make these sales to people emotional. So they want you to sit down with, like, say, a married couple and say, John and Mary. And then you go to Mary and you say, Mary, what's going to happen if John passes away? What's going to happen to you? What's going to happen? Are you going to lose the house? Gross. That's so gross. And I know you kind of have to push people and get people to think about the future and their planning and everything like that, but that's just icky. It's just icky to me. It's just icky. Another big con is that while they do have lots of training and resources available, none of it's streamlined. It's all over the place, and it's mostly focused on building the team and making the dials, like making the actual phone calls, and how to sell a product. And there's lots of scripts and everything, but there's no real information on the product that you're selling. Now, you can go to each carrier's website and find information there, and that's all fine and dandy. But I think that there needs to be more of an emphasis on training of what the actual product is that you're selling and what products work best for certain people. I wish that there was more of that, and there's not. Um, Another con is that you don't have the knowledge really of what you're selling, and you're really encouraged to just buy cheap leads and practice on people. I think that's kind of gross to be practicing on people with their hard earned money. Also, another con, these cheap leads, which, yes, you do want to start off buying cheap leads. They're about 40 to 60 cents per lead. These leads are, I'm telling you, at least 2 to anywhere from about 10 years old. How do I know that? Because the few people that I have gotten on the phone, either A, that's not their phone number anymore, B, they don't live at that address that's listed anymore. Because when you get these leads, they're sold to you as Morgan Protection Insurance, which is a whole nother story and confusing of itself because that's not a real product. There's term insurance and there's life insurance. But when you go to a carrier's website, there's not really anything called mortgage protection insurance, which and it just confuses people because they think that it's an insurance thing like that's through their bank, and that's not what you're selling them. You're selling them term or whole life insurance. Anyways, um, so yeah, another con there, and kind of another, I don't know, scammy type of thing to me in a way. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this or not. We'll see. We'll see if I can actually sell any more policies, or if it just keeps not feeling right to me. But I'm kind of leaning towards it does not feel right. Like I said, life insurance is a great product. I myself personally have a life insurance policy. I think everybody should. The last thing I want is for my family, to have to do a GoFundMe for my funeral. So, and it's better to buy it now when you're young, because that's kind of another thing with these cheaper leads. They're usually all 65, 70 plus people who are living on Social Security, and their minimum life insurance that they're going to get is probably going to be $100 plus, and they can't afford that. So, yeah, definitely get life insurance now while you're young and while it's cheap, because the older you get, the more expensive it's going to get. So, those are my pros, cons, and final thoughts. I guess I'll update you maybe in a couple of weeks.